Hello, everyone. So I have Anne here with me from HILDE. She's a wedding planner in London. We recently worked together on her website to do her search engine optimization, and she was very kind to accept to have this chat with me. Thank you so much. Welcome. How are you?
Hi, Negus. I'm really good. Thank you so much. And I'm really happy just to speak to you and just to give you all the praise in the world. So yeah, just go for it with your questions.
Great, thank you. Okay, I will straight away because I know you're busy. Can you just quickly introduce yourself and your business?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Anna. I'm the founder of HILDE. It's a small boutique design-led wedding planning and design business based in London. Yeah, and I met you for work for your previous career path, and I've always liked your personality. I guess that's how we became friends. Obviously, that's how I started trusting you. Started your SEO business. That was actually the time when I was probably looking for it. So it was just a perfect match that someone like you, someone I trusted already, had this opportunity for me to just help me out and to make all the changes that I needed to make.
Oh, great, thank you. That makes me a bit red. So what made you decide to invest in SEO?
Well, I mean, obviously there's a lot of talk about SEO, and it's something that I've always kind of put on the back burner. I'm very design-led. I'm very much into people. I'm very much into actually just doing my work. I'm not such a fan of anything technical. Not to say that, there's a good and basic understanding, of the importance of it all, but I've kind of always just pushed it to the, to the end of the to-do list, really. Also, because I understood that this would be something that I have to really invest in and think about and spend time on. And I also just didn't have that time. Well, anyway, long story short, when I realized that I needed a new website to also reflect the growth of my business, I wanted to not only have a better UX with my website, but I also wanted it to rank better, because I did realize that I was, I don't know, on page whatever, 20 something when we started out. Now I'm on page 2. I saw that last week.
Yeah, one as well. Yeah.
So I just wanted to make all the changes in one go, and it was just a perfect time really for us to get started as I was making the design changes to the website. And I was just always aware how important it is to be obviously on top of those things, because there's only so much you can do with Instagram and word of mouth, and there's just so much potential in just being found via search. And just looking at myself, how I behave, if I'm looking for a service, usually the first thing I do is go on Google and search what I'm looking for. And if I'm then I start shortlisting people, and then I go onto Instagram. I know a lot of people do it differently, but that's how I usually start my search. So I realized that I've just been missing out really for the first years of my business, just to be found via search. And I just wanted to up my game really, I guess.
Great. Well, that's the right thing to do. I'm obviously going to say that, but I think it's all true what you're saying. So how were you getting your clients and inquiries before we started working together? And what would you say your main struggles were, and how did that change?
So how I was getting my clients, just going back to Instagram, really definitely helped me a lot. Brides do tend to shop a lot for inspiration on Instagram, so they fall down some rabbit hole, and then they find you, or hashtag search you, or through recommendations and blogs that I've been featured on, or the business been featured on. So that was basically it. Ever so sometimes I would get a search inquiry. On my contact form it says, "How did you find us?" Which always kind of baffled me. And ever so sometimes I would get someone come to me via Pinterest, which baffled me as well. But it was mainly Instagram, word of mouth, recommendation, and now probably 75% of my inquiries come through search.
Amazing.
So people actually put search in that little field, and that's just so cool because we only started the whole journey in October, September. Anyway, not so long ago.
Like, not so. Yeah, it's been like, I think it was like maybe August. We completely done all the changes.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, August.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just been such a change, and I've said this before, it's also just boosted the confidence of the business, you know, just to be out there with a fully functioning website that you don't have to be ashamed of. And it kind of reflects where I am in the process of building this further. So I can proudly say that there's a lot of search traffic now, and it's less and less Instagram. There's still some recommendations, but obviously that's got to do with what we did. But
amazing. That makes me so
100%
happy.
down to the new website.
Amazing. That's great. So yeah, you mentioned, so how does it feel that now you're actually ranking on page 1 of Google for some important keywords? Because I've checked again, and you were like ranking on page 1 for like contemporary wedding planner, some of the venues that you love working at, like Sessions Arts Club. I actually saw that today, that you're actually getting clicks from that, and like how does it feel?
Well, saying that, I actually had an inquiry about this last night. So a couple inquired about Sessions Arts Club. And again, they put in the little field about how they found me via Sessions Arts Club. They must have searched Sessions Arts Club wedding or something like that. And then obviously I would have come up, because not so many weddings have been done there. And it's just, how does it make me feel? Well, it makes me feel more legit. It sounds silly because obviously I'm legit without that ranking, but it kind of I'm now ranking alongside other very good planners, and that's obviously where I want to be and where I see myself, and totally where I am. So it feels like I'm finally there where I should have been probably a couple of years ago, or 3 years ago, or right from the start. So it's just I'm finally catching up with you know where the business should be in the world of the internet. So it makes me feel great. It also alleviates some of the stress of having to self-promote, because my website is doing this work for me now. You know, before I had to post every day, every week, every so-and-so just to get the good traffic. Traffic is down so much on Instagram, so I can't really rely on that anymore, unless you feed the system every day or all the time, which is not what I want to do. That's my personality. So yeah, it's just great. It does the work for me now. My website works for me now.
Amazing.
And that is just worth all the investment in the world, because I can actually focus on doing the work and not having to self-promote so hard.
Exactly. I'm so happy to hear that, because that's the thing, isn't it? Like Instagram, they're all great channels, but you really need to put in so much effort. And like I'm so excited to see, because I mean, we just said it's literally been only a few months, and SEO actually takes time to pick up. So I'm so excited to see where it's going to go. I mean, this is only the beginning.
No, when I started out with you, I didn't have so much of an idea about how this could help me and how quickly this could transform things. But I'm so surprised, and I was quite surprised how quick the changes, you know, kind of popped up, and it's just I'm an SEO fan now. I'm a convert.
Yes. Great.
I also like it. I also really enjoy understanding it now. You know, I've kind of broken the ice and don't see it as this big mountain that you know, where to even begin. It's just I'm enjoying to see the changes. I'm enjoying to go into my Google and see what's been going on this month and how I can optimize this further. So it's just such a good extension of all my work, and it's just
that's so good. That's great. So I was actually going to ask about that, like, what do you say your knowledge or feeling around SEO was before we started working together, and like how is it now, how that's changed? You like touched on that a bit, but it'd be great if you can like maybe give a bit more detail.
To be honest with you, so going back to what I said initially, SEO was this big big word or this big thing, like, you know, that I knew I had to get on top of, but I just couldn't find the time or the energy to actually get my head around it. Like, you know, if you don't work with someone like yourself, where as a normal person, where do you start? Where do you start getting all the right information? I mean, there's so much out there that you can read about SEO. Where do you start? Similarly to wedding planning, it's overwhelming, isn't it? If you don't know where to start, where do you start? So just getting over that burden of hurdle, sorry, not burden, hurdle of getting over the hurdle of where to start was just taken away completely, and then it just kind of all just fell into place. So it's basically transformed from overwhelmed to, oh, exciting. What's next? Yeah. How can I push this further? I've now also implemented the last changes that you said I should be doing, and you know, we talked about implementing more pages, etc. So I'm on that now, and I want to do that now. And I want to take it further, whereas before I didn't even know what it is and where to start. So it's just really transformed that whole understanding of something so important. And with that comes such a relief. Speaking about feelings, probably the best word for it was anxiety, and anxiety has now turned into confidence. So, you know,
amazing. That's so good, because that's the thing I always tell people, like, SEO can actually be fun. It doesn't have to be something scary. It's actually quite fun once you understand and start doing and seeing the results. So I'm so glad you said that. That's amazing. I'm so glad.
I mean, I know that not everyone feels this way. Some, you know, there's some people who enjoy it and do not feel overwhelmed, perhaps. But in my case, I associated that with SEO or anything to do with that, because it's also so time consuming to do it, to get started, to do it right. And I just didn't have that time. And I think that all together with just simply not knowing much about it just gave me that feeling of overwhelm. But now I feel like I'm in charge. You know, I can totally steer that in any direction now. So that's great.
That's amazing. So again, you said that, but was my question, like, how comfortable then you feel with your SEO and your SEO strategy going forward? That, you know, we laid the initial steps, you know what you're doing. I guess now, I mean, I understood from what you said that you're feeling now comfortable and excited.
I feel very comfortable with where I am right now. I know there's a few more things that I can do, and I know long term there will be. It probably will need. It's never ending, isn't it? It's not something you can just stop. So I'm determined to invest more in it, and to not let it fall behind, and because I have seen the results, and because I have seen how the change has actually given me more time. I had to obviously invest a lot of time to get it, you know, to make the change. But together with you, that wasn't something I had to be scared of, or, you know, you did it so well with me. So it was kind of just a very natural process. So I can just continue this now, and build on it and just use it more, just really use my website to my advantage. And I think so many businesses are missing out on actually.
Completely. I agree. It's actually so surprising and shocking to see how many businesses are actually like losing on it. But that's so excited about yours. I'm so excited to see where is it going. And so how was it to have me as your SEO consultant? And you can be completely honest.
I mean, I've said it so many times. It was just absolutely wonderful. And going back to what I said initially, I feel like we've become friends. You know, it was good that I just from the start, but yeah, I think even if I hadn't known you before, you just have that personality and that aura that one can just 100% trust. And I think a lot of time, I mean, still to this day, to be honest, I get probably an email every day from somebody somewhere in the world telling me that I need to improve my website, and here's an SEO service for £5.50. And obviously, you know, there's just so much scam and stuff out there, and people just trying to make a quick dollar. And then I think that kind of just really highlighted that overwhelm. It's like, oh gosh, you know, you need to really do something about this, but also equally, where do you start? And all these people just trying to sell you some stuff. And with you, I just never had the feeling that you was just trying to get me into something just for your own good. It was just, I thought it was really collaboratively. You know, you was always on time, always on point. I loved your summary emails. I'm a project manager by trade, so I really enjoy that organization. You know, you're kind. I never felt like. I never felt like I'm asking stupid questions or silly questions, or you know, oh, I should know this, or I just felt like I could be really open with you about, you know, my limitations in that kind of field. And it was just such a nice journey, really. I'm almost a bit sad that it's kind of, you know, over. But I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, I really enjoyed our chats, our little
Yeah.
WhatsApps. I really enjoyed how you kept me in the loop, how you really just went for it. And I really felt like you really wanted to help me.
Yeah.
And that was just so comforting. So yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice to hear. But I mean, I really enjoyed working with you as well. And as I said, I'm always happy for you to send me messages or questions, and I will definitely be continue checking your search console and sending you emails.
My success.
Yeah, about that. So no, that's great. Thank you. So what would you say to someone who is like on the fence or thinking about investing in SEO, but still having maybe some doubts or worries or fears about investing, or like committing to it? Do you have any advice to them?
Yes, definitely go get your SEO sorted as soon as you can. The world is extremely competitive. You can't rely on just one source. Your website is basically your oyster, isn't it? And if it doesn't work, no one can take that away from you. So you should make it just as functional as possible and as hard working as possible. Instagram can disappear any moment now, or you know, further changes can be made to that platform, and you're behind. So I would really say go for it and just really use the tools that are available. Definitely work with nags, obviously, with
Yeah.
you. And I would say, in terms of investment, yeah, I mean, of course, it's a service, so you have to pay for it. But like I said initially, it pays itself back so quickly because the return on investment is just so high, because you get more inquiries, better quality inquiries. Therefore, you will probably, you know, turn a lot more inquiries into actual sales. And it's just a no-brainer, really. Yeah, you need to put some time in and some money, but it will pay itself back, and it will actually save you time further down the line, because you have to self-promote less. So if there is, that's what, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally, 100%. Also, like in terms of saving time, you obviously need to continue working on your SEO, but
Yeah.
it's not like you need to be posting a blog post every week or like every month.
Yeah.
It's just as long as you're on top of it, making sure like you have quality content and it's fresh, then you don't really need to do much after the initial effort. So
Push.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you turned into an SEO advocate, because I'm trying to
Yes,
make so many
absolutely.
people.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine?
so
You should have asked me a year ago. Like, oh.
no, but that's great. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for trusting me. Thank you so much for accepting to be on this call today. I really appreciate it.